With a tear in my eye, we say goodbye to Georgie Roach. Welcome back, everyone, to Buy Old Sell. I hope, of course, you are all well. Yes, the day has come. George Roach tenure is over at Premier African Minerals. It's a very sad and dark day for us shareholders. We see George leave with a great tenure behind him, and now we're on to our new CEO, Graham Hill. I know a lot of us are applauding that Graham Hill is now in with his credentials that we've talked about in previous videos, and you can go in and watch those videos if you wish. Graham Hill comes with good credentials, and we're very excited for the prospect that is Premier African Minerals going forward. We'll just start off with yesterday's RNS. Premier African Minerals has announced that Canmax Technologies has elected to convert £272,000 worth of accrued interest due to under the related and amended offtake prepayment agreement into new ordinary shares of the company in accordance with the terms as announced on the 24th of December. So again, we've pumped another load of shares out, ordinary shares to Canmax at an issue price of 0.023. Canmax share being the same issue price as the direct subscription announced on the 21st of August 2025. Canmax shares will rank pari passu in all respects with the existing ordinary shares. Application will be made for Canmax shares to be admitted to trading on AIM, and admission is expected to take place on and around the 8th of September. So we have a lovely bucket load coming in here within the next week, which is lovely. The following issue of Canmax shares, the company issued the share capital consists of, well, 84 billion and change. So there you have it, another billion shares. But look, I'm content with that. It shows Canmax are still involved. They're still heavily involved and they're very interested. So look, it is what it is, guys. You know, you could cry all day about it, but it just is what it is. Let's move on to the more juicy stuff then, shall we? Premier African Minerals is pleased to announce after satisfactory completion of standard regulatory checks in compliance with the AIM rules, the appointment today of Graham Hill. We did talk about this in the other videos. We said that if Graham Hill was announced as the CEO, that'll be a huge fundamental change. It shows that the guy has looked at it. He's took on the project. He's had a good run of due diligence himself, and he's went, yeah, I want this project, and that is what has happened. So that is very, very bullish, in my opinion, for the change in direction of Premier African Dream. The company further announces that Mr. George Roach has now resigned as a director of the company in accordance with the mutually agreed termination of his consultancy agreement as both the chief executive and director of the company, as announced on the 20th of May 2025. Godfrey, the chairman, then went on to say Graham has wide experience that his direct relevance in operations, and we welcome him to the board. And we do welcome you as shareholders, Graham. I really hope that you can get the ship in the right direction. And yeah, I think with your 41 years experience in mine development and the track record that we have done due diligence in, it looks very, very promising, and all shareholders should be optimistic, I guess. And there's a bit more information about his previous history, but we've done the video on it, so I'll not go over that again. Interesting though, Mr. Hill currently holds no ordinary shares in the company. Now, what I'm speculating here potentially is we might see purchases of shares, which would be very, very bullish by Graham. So if he comes in now and starts turning the ship around and goes, yeah, you know what it is, I want to buy some shares, we could see a boost. And based on my own experience from other companies, when CEOs or directors insider buying happens, it usually is a good thing for the share price. So fingers crossed for that. Obviously, that's just my own thoughts. And we can see that today's share price has been flat on the news. I didn't really expect anything to happen. I think it was a formality. I think we all pretty much were under the impression that he was going to take over as CEO. We did know that George was leaving, so the market's kind of baked all that news in. It's more of a formality. It's more of a box being ticked than a big surprise to the market. But we can see, unfortunately, PREM on the month hasn't really done a lot. Our last video was a good 2 weeks ago, and we can see it's just been sort of a sideways motion, up and down. We're currently down 15% on the month, 3% on the 5 days, and then more promising on the 6 months, we're up 27%. And we'll have a look at more technical stuff in a moment, but let's just have a look at spodumene prices in general. Since our last video, unfortunately, we have seen a dip. You can see here in a month we were up over 960 a ton. Now we're down to 872. Still profitable at this stage, so nothing really too major to be panicking about. It did have one hell of a good run, so it's probably just a natural, healthy cool off, in my opinion. And fingers crossed that continues to push on. And we can see here now, technical analysis wise, that PREM MACD going down, guys. Not too good, not too good, not too good. RSI is in a neutral position, potentially going to start turning around. And we can see here, if we turn off the buy whole sell indicators and just focus on this. This was the 200-day moving average. Above the 200-day moving average, we're in a bull market. We haven't been in a bull market on Prem in a mighty long time. We tried, we've danced along it, and we have been rejected, and we are pushing downwards. Now, if we turn on the buy wholesale indicator, which factors in a 180-day moving average, the 20-day moving average, and the 50, we can see here that we're about to go below all our moving averages, which is really not good. It's a bearish movement. There's no point looking at that anymore because you could cry. Let's just talk about the fundamental change here that's happened. We have a new CEO with a great proven track record. We have bags of stuff that is now converting. The plant is working. It all feels like we're very close to potentially starting to make some money from this. I don't think Graham would have taken on this project if he felt there was no way of turning this ship around. So I am taking comfort in the fundamentals here. I don't normally do the fundamentals. I'm more focused on the charts. Charts don't look too hot, but the fundamentals are strong. Potentially there could be maybe Graham Hill will actually buy some shares, which is good. And just to recap then, Canmax has strengthened its position by converting accrued interest into new billion loans. So they were owed money and they have opted to take shares at a very good price because they obviously are seeing potential. If you think about when Stark got their share way years ago for their payment, they sold immediately. Now, potentially we can see that happening. I'm not saying that it won't happen. If there's a slight pump, they might sell. But chances are they're holding for a longer term because they believe in this project as well. That's my thoughts on it. It's good. It is fundamentally good. We're in a far better position than we've been in a very long time. I genuinely do wish George the best of luck. It's been a very bumpy road. There's been a lot of mismanagement potentially. But listen, he's gone now. I don't like slating anybody on bad taste when they're leaving. I wish you the best, George. Thanks for everything that you've done. But I am excited for what the future now holds with Prem. And I really wish Graham Hill and the team the best of luck, and we'll be covering all this on the channel. So if you're interested in African mining dreams, this is the channel for you. Codal and Premier African Minerals, there's plenty of risk reward in these kind of stocks. So if you can, like, subscribe, help us grow the channel. If you want to get in the Discord, the link is down below in the pinned comment. And apart from that, I will see you all in the next video. I'm really excited with what the future holds. And you're probably asking the question, have I bought yet? Not yet, and I'll talk a bit more about that in the next video, why. But for this, right now, I'm happy just to sit out and watch what Premier African Minerals does.